Okay, so you're with that resource crisis fund. So we'll also. And, oh, yes, okay.
Phew. Smell popcorn. After watching it burn. Burn.
So lazy, Mike's on. Seeing we have a quorum, I will call to order the City of Kemah City Council and Kemah Public Facilities Corporation regular meeting, October 1 at 6 p.m. The first thing on our agenda are the pledges. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America,
to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Next thing on the agenda is a moment of silence. And the next on the agenda is invitation to address council, and Hunter Cameron is on the list. No? Okay. Anyone else that didn't get to sign in? Okay. And next on the agenda are proclamations, presentations, awards, and community spotlight. And we have quite a few tonight. The first one is the proclamation declaring October as Bullying Prevention Month.
All the bullies are here, right?
Okay. Group
Oh,
of,
sorry.
okay. This is a proclamation recognizing National Bullying Prevention Month. Whereas bullying is a widespread and serious problem that can happen anywhere, including schools, playgrounds, homes, and online. And whereas bullying has harmful social, physical, psychological, and academic impacts on victims, witnesses, and even those who bully. And whereas every child, teen, and adult has the right to be safe and feel respected and supported, both in person and online. And whereas schools and communities that support kindness, inclusion, and mutual respect are better equipped to prevent bullying and respond to it effectively when it does occur. And whereas community-wide education and awareness are essential to promoting a safe, respectful, and inclusive environment for all individuals. And whereas the City of Kemah joins parents, our educators, community organizations, and concerned citizens in taking a stand against bullying in all of its forms. Now therefore, I, Robin Collins, Mayor of the City of Kemah, Texas, do hereby proclaim the month of October 2025 as National Bullying Prevention Month in the City of Kemah. And we encourage all of our citizens to recognize the importance of fostering a culture of kindness, empathy, and respect, and to stand together in support of bullying prevention efforts throughout our community. In witness whereof, I am hereunto set my hand and cause the seal of the City of Kemah to be affixed this first day of October 2025.
Okay, and don't forget all in time closer. Everybody's got to get scrunchy here. A couple of y'all, yes, and over the sides of the little balance there. Good. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. Thank you.
Okay, next is a proclamation recognizing Fire Prevention Week, and I think, is Chief Sununu here?
Yes.
Oh, the fire department, okay, cool. All of you. Come on up here. That's okay. This proclamation is recognizing Fire Prevention Week as October 5th through the 11th. Whereas Fire Prevention Week is observed annually to raise awareness about fire safety and prevention, and to commemorate the Great Chicago Fire of 1871, which tragically claimed many lives and destroyed thousands of buildings. And whereas the city of Pima is committed to the safety of all residents and recognizing that fire safety is shared responsibility among citizens, businesses, and first responders. And whereas the City of Pima Fire Department, a dedicated volunteer department, provides exceptional service in protecting lives and property through emergency response, public education, and proactive fire prevention programs. Whereas the commitment, skill, and selflessness of the volunteer firefighters in Pima exemplify the spirit of community service and strengthen the safety of our city. And whereas all residents of Pima are encouraged to take personal responsibility for fire safety, including installing and maintaining smoke alarms, planning and practicing home escape routes, and staying alert to the fire hazards. Now therefore, I, Ron Collins, Mayor of the City of Pima, Texas, do hereby proclaim October 5 through 11 as Fire Prevention Week in the City of Pima, and call upon all of our residents to work together with the Pima Volunteer Fire Department to raise awareness about fire safety and take proactive steps to prevent fires in our community. In witness whereof, I have hereunto set my hand and caused the seal of the City of Pima to be affixed this 1st of October 2025.
Appreciate you guys.
Okay, next is, 2 proclamations, for domestic violence. The first one, I think is Brandy with, RCC. Okay, I got a drink, I think I can keep going. Sorry, drink of water. Okay. This is a proclamation honoring Domestic Violence Awareness Month. Whereas domestic violence is a serious public health issue that affects individuals in every community, regardless of age, gender, race, religion, economic status, or education level. And whereas the physical, emotional, psychological, and financial effects of domestic violence have a lasting impact on individuals, families, and communities. And whereas the Resource Crisis Center of Galveston County Incorporated provides critical services including 24-hour crisis intervention, safe shelter, advocacy, prevention education, and resources to survivors of domestic violence in Pima and throughout Galveston County. And whereas October is recognized nationwide as Domestic Violence Awareness Month, a time to raise awareness, honor survivors, and remember those lost to domestic violence. And whereas the City of Pima joins with the Resource and Crisis Center of Galveston County in supporting survivors, holding offenders accountable, and working toward a community free of violence. Now therefore, I, Robin Collins, Mayor of the City of Pima, Texas, do hereby proclaim October 2025 as Domestic Violence Awareness Month. In the City of Pima, encourage all of our residents to join in activities that promote awareness, prevention, and support for the survivors. In witness whereof I am hereto set my hand and cause the seal of the city of Pima to be affixed this first day of October 2025. Thank you. You have to do that? The pictures, I know. Thank you so much. Okay, the next one, I think is a manual, and this one is a Mayor Attorney Forms. Another proclamation, honoring Domestic Violence Awareness Month. Whereas domestic violence is a serious public health issue that affects individuals in every community, regardless of age, gender, race, religion, economic status, or education level. And whereas the physical, emotional, psychological, and financial effects of domestic violence have a lasting impact on individuals, families, and communities. Whereas Bay Area Turning Point provides critical services, Bay Area Turning Point offers free and confidential 24-hour hotline support, emergency shelter, advocacy, counseling, and education and outreach services for the survivors of domestic and sexual violence in Kima and throughout southeast Harris County, eastern Brazoria County, northern Galveston County, and all of Chambers County in Texas. Whereas October is recognized nationwide as Domestic Violence Awareness Month, a time to raise awareness, honor survivors, and remember those lost to domestic violence. And whereas the city of Kima joins with Bay Area Turning Point in supporting survivors, holding offenders accountable, and working toward a community free from violence. Now therefore, I, Robin Collins, Mayor of the City of Pima, Texas, do hereby proclaim October 2025 as Domestic Violence Awareness Month in the City of Pima, encourage all of our residents to join in activities that promote awareness, prevention, and support for our survivors. In witness whereof, I have hereunto set my hand and cause the seal of the City of Pima to be affixed this first day of October 2025. Okay. Thank you so very much. Thanks for coming tonight. We really appreciate it. Okay, and our last one tonight, Nola here on city staff is going to come up and this is a proclamation honoring Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and she wore the t-shirt. Whereas breast cancer is the most commonly diagnosed cancer among women in the United States, impacting mothers, daughters, sisters, and friends in every community. And whereas early detection, education, and treatment are vital to reducing the devastating effects of breast cancer, which remains one of the leading causes of cancer death among women. And whereas advances in medical research, increased awareness, and widespread public support have improved survival rates and given hope to those affected. And whereas the City of Pima stands with survivors, honors those we have lost, and recognizes the dedication of healthcare professionals, researchers, and advocates who continue to fight against this disease. And whereas October is observed across the nation as Breast Cancer Awareness Month, serving as a reminder of the importance of regular screenings and community support in the battle against breast cancer. Now therefore, I, Robin Collins, Mayor of the City of Pima, Texas, do hereby proclaim October 25 as the City of Pima, as in the City of Pima, and encourage all residents to join in supporting increased awareness, early detection, and research efforts to save lives. Breast Cancer Awareness Month in the City of Pima, and encourage all residents to join in supporting increased awareness, early detection, and research efforts to save lives. In witness whereof, I have hereunto set my hand and cause the seal of the City of Pima to be affixed the first day of October 2025. Electronic. Okay.
Gather all my stuff. Okay, next on the agenda are mayor's comments and announcements. Good evening to everyone. Want to thank you all for being here tonight. I'll start with a quick reminder that our National Night Out celebration is coming up this next Tuesday, October 7th. That's from 6 to 8 in the city parking lot in the Lighthouse District. This is always such a fun evening. Food, games, activities for the kids, and a chance to visit our police officers, our fire department, and our city staff. This year, we'll also have a vendor market, so it's a great time to come out, shop, and also support our community. We're also looking forward to our Halloween trunk or treat, and it's also a shop and eat this year. It will be held on Saturday, October 25th at the city parking lot from 5:30 to 7:30. That's another great chance to enjoy Kemah, spend some time with your neighbors, and support our local businesses while the kids have fun. There's still time if you haven't signed up and you want to trunk at the trunk or treat. You just call City Hall and they'll tell you how to do that. We'll also have a vendor market at this event as well. And you can also sample some of Kemah's local restaurants. They are going to have tidbits for you to walk by and grab and eat. It's going to be a really fun evening. And next, near and dear to my heart, I want to pause and recognize one of our own tonight. Dispatcher Kelly Head is celebrating 35 years of service with the city of Kemah. It's truly an amazing milestone for her, and we are so grateful for her dedication and her commitment. We'll be hosting a lunch for her in her honor on October 6th here at City. It is at City Hall, isn't it? Okay. And I'd like to invite all of council and KCDC to stop by if you can. And finally, I'd like to welcome our interns from Indonesia, Farah and Marvio. We are so excited to have you both here with us in Kemah. They hit the road running and have already done a lot of work. And if you don't mind, I'd like to invite you up so that Caesar can give you a little bit more of an introduction. Yeah, come on up.
Come on up to the table. Thank you very much. Thank you, Mayor, Council. I want to introduce our interns, Mario Pantas and Farah Putri. Please stand up, please, by all means. I want to introduce them and let you know that I've had the pleasure of spending the last few days with them. I got a chance to pick them up from the airport on Friday. And they have hit the ground running. They actually started working on some things before they even arrived. We're very happy to have them from Indonesia. Marvo, for example, for the actual work that he's put into actually getting here, he had to travel 2 full days just to arrive. He had to be on a 10-hour boat ride, followed by a 3.5-hour plane ride just to get to the capital city to meet Miss Farah, and then together they took about an 19-hour flight to get to Portland. They stayed there for a few days, and then after that is when they came here to Houston, and I picked them up this past Friday. But they're very excited. They've already worked on some projects. They helped us submit an application to HGAC that was due yesterday. They'll be working to spend some time with Galveston Bay Foundation during their stay. They're working with the Nature Connect program that we're working with National League of Cities, and working on a couple submissions for a community placemaking grant, as well as another HGAC grant. So they'll be presenting those to you on the 15th, as well as they're helping us work on our sponsor package that we're working on for 57 Acre Park. They're here to work in the emphasis areas of environmental advocacy and environmental fundraising or environmental sustainability. I'll ask them to say a few words. If you could just push the button, make sure that it's green, and then if you want to introduce yourself to the group.
Okay. Okay. Good. Okay. Good afternoon, the Honorable Mayor, the distinguished council members, and also the esteemed guests. Hi, everyone. My name is Farah, and this is Marvio. We both are from Indonesia, and we both are the representative from the YSEAL PFP program, which stands for Youth Southeast Asia Leadership Initiatives Program Fellowship, Professional Fellowship Program. So we are really excited to learn from the team, especially on the proposal development, fundraising strategies, as well as the grant management. And we also really keen to learn about the conservation and sustainable program of the city, and we're looking forward to share our learnings back to our home. Thank you.
Appreciate it so much. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Next on the agenda are council members' comments, and Councilman Lee Wallace, would you like to go first?
Well, of course. Thank everyone for coming. And the Breast Cancer Awareness Month is real important to myself, and she's probably going to shoot me, my wife. But she's beat breast cancer twice, not once, but twice. So it really does mean a lot to us it holds a special place for us, but that's all.
Councilman Meisinger?
Welcome. These were some wonderful proclamations tonight, and my mom, that's not what actually took her out at the end, but she had a rough go with breast cancer as well. It's insidious. And it's really great to have seen the domestic violence. Tell Kat hi for me. Tell her when you see her, Doug said hey. And I'm really happy that Nola was able to receive that proclamation this evening. But short of that, look like a pretty reasonable meeting tonight, so let's get at it.
Councilman Dustin Oliver?
Well, thank you everybody for coming out tonight. I don't know how I can follow up those two comments. I echo the sentiment. Thank you for those proclamations, and just get started.
Councilman Darren Broadus?
Yeah, thanks to everybody for coming out tonight, and Lee, congratulations. That is a feat, especially for you. I know watching Leslie go through it over the last 6 weeks has been a challenge for them as well, so we've been watching that closely, living right next door to us, so we understand somewhat, not completely. So let's get busy and get this meeting over with.
Next on the agenda is the city administrator's report, so we'll turn it back over to Caesar.
Thank you, Mayor. I want to take a moment if anybody's hungry. I know it's a late night, but we do have some popcorn in the lobby if anybody would like a snack. I want to take a moment and welcome Mr. Tim Sykes, who's been here before with Galveston County Transit District. We do have the bus outside. Today is the first day that it's been in operation. And prior to being in operation, we already had some folks that were requesting to actually ride it. So if you'd like to take a look at it, or any of the residents or the partners that are here would like to take a look outside. And I understand that it'll be taking our interns home tonight to their Airbnb.
Oh, wow.
One thing that was not mentioned when they were here was that they will be staying in an Airbnb. They're both in two separate Airbnbs throughout the city. And they will be here until October 25th is when they go back. Want to also thank Mr. Sykes. Did you want to share anything based on the bus being here or anything else?
Just to the mayor and to council and all that assembled, we were pleased to start services here today. We did have some riders that booked outside of Kemah and that were brought to Kemah and then picked up and then taken out of Kemah. So it's catching on. We're going to be doing some promotions. We're Huntington apartment complexes and businesses. And it's when it catch fire, it's going to catch fire because it's public transportation, and Uber, Lyft can't beat it. It's, 50 cents for seniors, students, and persons with disabilities one way, and $1 round trip. And regular and general riders ride for $1. So people are learning about it, even outside of Kemah, that work in Kemah. And so we did have some book rides to some place of employment today coming into Kemah. So we are excited to be here.
It is exciting. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Sykes. I want to take us right through the two reports that I included. I want to take a moment and share the minutes that were presented as part of the recent Stormwater MS4 committee meeting that we had. As you know, the committee was formed and has been in place for several years. With the new renewed permit will be in place from the 24th to the 28th, as was presented to you when the ordinance was read the past few times by our partners from SPI. But we do have the 5-year renewal. The recommendation made by the committee is they would like to continue meeting. They're very excited to work and help us keep compliance with our stormwater permit, public education and outreach, as well as public involvement and participation, even scheduling some cleanups. One of the biggest issues that's been observed is lawn care groups sending yard waste directly into the storm system. So that's something that we would like to possibly get addressed. And they are putting together a possible cleanup effort for November 9th. They have removed large quantities of litter and trash, as have several people here who currently do so, but their objective is to keep the waterways clear. Working on image and marketing to gather attention and involvement from the public. We've even possibly gotten some grant-funded inlet cards to put on our inlets to remind people that only water goes down the drains. And they're happy to join KEMA in this collaborative effort. That concludes that item. Next item is actually to let you know that the TDA did approve our amendment request that we brought to you by council. It was approved September 15th, so it was before our last meeting, but obviously we could not announce it at that time because the agenda was already out. But they did approve the award. We also had a notice to proceed meeting. So with that pre-development meeting that was held here this week on Monday, a couple of days ago, we now have notice to proceed for that project. They're in permitting right now, and they're intended to begin their project, their work and staging as early as October 13th. So within just a week and a half from now. So that's, if you remember, that's part of the 7th Street drainage project. And we look forward to having that actual project get started here. The total time for that project is not to exceed 150 days. We hope to get it done sooner. So by no later than March 13th, we will make sure that it is done and wrapped up. That concludes our presentation there.
Any
Thank you very much.
questions or comments for Caesar? Next on the agenda is reports from staff. I believe Natasha has council availability. Did you want to discuss that with them?
Yes, I just need to know if anybody is going to be absent for either 10:15, 11:05, 11:19, or 12:03. It's the next couple of council meetings. We would like to schedule council photos for your headshots at 4 o'clock on either one of these days, or we can do an alternate too.
And that was 10.
It's 10:15, 11:05, 11:19, and 12:03.
I'm not here the 19th.
Okay.
10, 15, 11, what was it?
11:05, 11:19, and
12:03.
12:03. I should be here at all of them.
All, okay.
So the 19th is bad for you.
The 19th is the only questionable one for me, but the rest of them are fine.
Okay.
Availability aside, seriously?
Yes.
These are the estimates for
Yes.
getting your picture taken?
Yes.
It's more than just your hand.
And
Yeah,
just-
just do a cigar in my hand and said, I mean, seriously, I'd be driving a Ferrari if I was in this business. This is insane.
The other aspect of this is we're going to do individual pictures now, so we can have them individually. So if changes occur, then we don't need to do the entire picture over again. We're hoping that that'll allow us to be more flexible.
We're open to,
Anyone who finds these numbers just,
Well,
maybe it's me, I just said,
wait,
Wow.
is that on the agenda tonight, though?
It's not. It's
Yeah.
not. We were just showing everything and make sure everybody knows.
We gotta go back to the drawing board.
yeah. I mean,
Okay.
please,
Reactive.
please,
But
please,
anyway.
thank
I
you.
accept
That's-
alternate
But
solutions.
be sure and follow up with Isaac, but it looks like the 19th might be
Bad
iffy
day.
for at least 2 or 3.
Okay, no problem.
Okay, consent agenda to approve the minutes of the 9/17/2025 City Council regular meeting.
So moved.
Second.
I have a meeting,
Do you?
I have a motion from Councilman Darren Broadus and a second from,
Everyone but Doug.
we'll just say Councilman Lee Wallace. All those in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. Next, 11A, consideration and possible action to approve Resolution 2025-35. The resolution of the City Council of the City of Kima, Texas, submitting the names of 5 nominees or less for election to the Galveston Central Appraisal District Board of Directors 2026, or GCAD.
I make a motion to approve the resolution submitting one name, and that name being Robert Collins.
Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion by Councilman Doug Meisinger, a second by Councilman Lee Wallace. All those in favor?
Aye.
11B, consideration and possible action to approve Resolution 2025-36, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Pima, Texas, for the designation of a representative, alternate, and proxy for the Gulf Coast Transit District.
Yes, Mayor. As you know, that part of the participation with this program is you do get a seat on the actual board. And the question is when you would like to attend, or who you would like to be the first and the second representative. Historically, either the city manager or a designee would serve as a proxy. And at this time, we just need a first and a second name if needed. The meetings, Mr. Sykes?
Are the second Tuesdays of every month. Some are held in Galveston County, and then it's alternating, but it's every other month, rather. And it's, one held in Galveston County, one held in Brazoria County. Sure.
And Caesar, you're okay with taking this responsibility?
I have no problem taking the proxy position, but if you'd like to have any official representative, they're usually elected representatives in the first and second position. So whatever you would like to have, I have no problem serving in any role.
Well, gentlemen, I have to sit this one out because I am at work on Tuesday, so y'all start nominating yourselves.
Boy, Lee looks like he wants to do it.
No, I'm setting that. I'm setting out too.
Man,
I have him in everything going on.
Is that you or me, buddy?
How about you?
Oh, sure.
All right.
What could go wrong?
You let us know when it does.
I'll just call the proxy.
I will make a motion to
Include Caesar in your
include
motion.
Caesar Garcia and Dustin Oliver as our representatives and the proxy for Gulf Coast Transit District.
I'll second.
So we have a motion by Councilman Doug Meisinger, a second by Councilman Lee Wallace. All those in favor?
Aye.
Mayor, who
Yes,
is the
ma'am.
alternate?
The, Caesar would be the proxy and Dustin would be the alternate.
Well, who's the main one?
Who's, yeah,
Oh,
we need a
we only
main
did
alternate.
two. We need three?
Yes.
Oh,
I thought the
It just gives authority for a third person to be able to attend. So whoever you'd like that to be.
okay.
Oh, that's.
There you go.
I'd like to amend my motion.
Amend your
if you don't
motion.
mind. To make the primary Caesar Garcia and the proxies Dustin Oliver and Isaac Saldana.
I don't think that works as your motion to answer the question either.
Okay, so do we have it, do you want to second that again?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, same motion, same second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
That'll learn you, Isaac.
Yeah.
And there's no worries. I will make sure I attend the meetings.
11C,
He'd have
consider.
done it to me if I wasn't here, so I don't feel bad.
11C, consideration and possible action approving a variance of side street yard requirement for Lot 2 of Marina Bay Harbor. And the backup information is in your packet.
Thank you, Mayor. Actually, Evan is here tonight to speak on this item, should we need him to. This is a variance request. It's very simple. It's a 5-foot variance request. Property owner is also here should you have any questions. It's on a road that typically does not get traveled very often, and we don't intend it to be much of an issue. So we don't, from staff's perspective, do not have an issue with it, but everybody's here should you have any questions.
I guess I had a question just about drainage. I mean, I don't see nothing from LJA as far as drainage. I mean, I saw y'all's comments, but I know it's probably so close to the water, it probably is not a big deal, but you get a storm surge, I'm just curious and.
Good question. There's no real issue with drainage, and this is not the right time. When we get permits, we'll look at all that, but LJA will review the drainage plan, so it'll pass the muster.
That was the only concern I had. And we fixed the other concern. It's been fixed.
Which one's that?
I don't.
Yes, the other concern's been fixed.
That's all I have.
Any other questions or comments? Do we have a motion?
Make a motion to approve a variance of side street yard requirements for Lot 2 of Marina Bay Harbor.
Second.
We have a motion by Councilman Dustin Oliver, a second by Councilman Doug Meisinger. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you, Hunter. Look forward to seeing the project.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Say break ground by the end of the year.
We'll
Break ground before the end of the year.
But Mr. Hunter, please let us know so we can arrange for a groundbreaking ceremony for you. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, for sure.
Thank you.
Uh-huh. Next on the agenda, 11D, consideration and possible action to support the creation of an RFP to be brought back to council for release in the pursuit of the upcoming local communities program through the Texas General Land Office.
Thank you, Mayor. This is a pretty simple request. There is a opportunity for us to go out for funding. I would like your permission to put together an RFP to bring back to you for release so we can pursue this grant. It is it's in line with our drainage master plan. There are several categories of the grant that we do qualify to pursue, specifically in the areas of the locals community program, which is funded through the GLO. What the request tonight is to make sure that we ask you for permission before we put an RFP package together. Obviously, that's very intensive. There's a total of $97 million in the pot from all the counties, within the counties that were affected by both the torrential storms that occurred between April 26th and June 5th, as well as Hurricane Beryl, which we obviously did receive some effect from. The main category will be flood control and drainage repair improvements, rehab of stormwater management systems, potentially generators as needed, and any type of revitalization that we would want to have. We know that certain parts of our city do drain. One of the components we've been looked at possibly doing is cammering our actual stormwater lines to make sure that if any of them are broken, we can identify where they are to identify repairs. So we're going to be putting together possible options. We can submit up to 2 applications if need be, but what we're asking for tonight is your permission in order to release the RFP. There's a 5% minimum in grant match, but if you would, obviously, the more we match, the stronger the application becomes. I'm asking for any potential project that you would like to see done so we can put them in the RFP. And also work with whoever's selected at that point as far as the grant admin company, as well as whoever's accepted as the engineer of record for this project. So we'd like to gather the opportunities, priorities, and make sure that they're aligned so we can put in some really strong applications. This would be similar like the one that you put in for the current drainage project that were just announced earlier tonight.
I would just ask that we identify the projects and then maybe bring in Melissa Washington. She's a wealth of knowledge. I know this, when her and I discussed this grant, she told me most of the time a half a point makes a difference between getting it and not getting it.
Mhm.
So I'd like to use her knowledge and make sure that we're doing it in the right section of town too, because I know income levels and all that come
Certainly.
part of this grading, as far as the grading system. So I would like to make sure that we get her engaged, because I know she'd be, I say she would, I almost bet money that she'd be willing to help us through the process and point us in the right direction so that we don't just waste our time doing the grant.
Certainly. The idea would be to bring in Ms. Washington and several other groups prior to the cone of silence, because obviously once it's announced, GLO can't help us. But that's why we're trying to get an early start on this one. The funding was just announced. It's not official, but it's announced that it's coming. And with that, we would work with a grant admin company who would do the benefit cost analysis to make sure that wherever we do put the application in for has a
So
high,
that works for.
it could be a grant, public works, public management, grant works, several other companies out there that do that. This is the same process you should have followed when you hired public management to do your current grant now.
So the minimum 5% match requirement, is that based on what project it is?
It's based on the project and the paid, obviously it would fluctuate depending on
The
which
amount.
project and then the amount. Yes, sir.
Okay.
And that would not be due until obviously funded and then project completion.
Well, I mean, this is just about approving the creation of an RFP.
Correct.
I'll make a motion to support the creation of an RFP to be brought back to council for release in the pursuit of the upcoming local communities program through the Texas General Land Office.
Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion by Councilman Doug Meisinger, a second by Councilman Lee Wallace. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. 11E, consideration of partnership with Zen City for community engagement and data insights.
Thank you, Mayor. This is a civic engagement platform. Patty, and if you would like to speak about it, but we want to better understand residents' priorities, make sure we're increasing satisfaction and having an opportunity to build trust. The system collects input from social media, news outlets, publicly available resources, and it gives us analysis of the community sentiment and concerns. Basically, this is using the power of AI as well as other softwares, but it allows us to provide analysis across different platforms, assuring that we have ADA compliant information that's going out, automated customizable reports that are available for you and for the public as need be. Dashboard posting of the analytics allows us to assist with press releases and social media, get them out faster. And it's the only program out there that also speaks to Nextdoor. So we get the information from Nextdoor if some residents are talking about Nextdoor through Nextdoor, but it is compatible and would get us information from Nextdoor, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, as well as give us the opportunity to put out surveys. So for example, if we wanted to put the project that we just talked about out, a survey, hey, community, which one do you think of these is the most important to you? Or, hey, what colors should we paint whatever wall? This is the type of information that we could use as far as a platform like this to get that information out. It is being offered to us at a significant discount and assured to us that should be maintaining at that price or near to it for up to 3 years.
Okay, can I put on my old guy hat?
Yes, sir.
What is this? I've never heard of it. I picked up this book on Monday. This is the first I've ever even heard of this. I still don't understand what it is. I read through the whole thing. How are you trying to reach people? How does this reach people?
So what this does, instead of going by hearsay, this gets,
Dick's over here laughing at me. What's that? Yeah, he's laughing at me.
what,
I don't get it.
okay, so this allows us to quickly extrapolate information on an instant basis as to what folks are talking about. What are their interests? For example, we've had a very recent situation on 518 and Drawer Avenue that we know is a real concern. But maybe there's other concerns out there that we don't know about because they're being talked about in other platforms or other times that we may not notice them. This allows us to extrapolate any information having to do with KEMA anywhere that's being spoken about and be able to provide correct analytics towards it in real time, not have to actually go site by site, search post by post. So this is a force multiplier for Patty's office and it allows her to be much more efficient at doing her job.
So it's just sort of like scouring the internet for what
Right.
people are saying and then compiling it and telling you.
And not just social media. It's also doing traditional media anywhere basically that is publicly accessible on the internet. If people are talking about us, we know they're talking about us, but if we don't know what they're saying, we can't be part of the conversation. And this basically allows us to get the information, find out what the sentiment behind it is, find out where people are talking about us, what they're saying, what information they're looking for. Sometimes people ask a question and they get information from everybody but us. And so this gives us the opportunity to see some of those conversations, be involved in them, and also proactively put out information before it bubbles up into something, that rumors bubble up into something that's out of hand or whatever. So it also it also lets us look through regular traditional media for places where KEMA may come up. Something really funny happened the other day. I was looking for pictures of KEMA restaurants and I pulled up this totally AI produced video of the best restaurants in KEMA. And it was something that we probably would have never seen otherwise, but programs like this make it not so random. Basically, it'll get me the information as opposed to me just randomly coming across it. So Noah's also here to.
Noah's actually not on. She had trouble
Oh.
logging on. She has
Okay.
a partner of hers that is logged on as well, joining us from, I believe, Tel Aviv.
I'm actually in California, but yeah,
Oh,
I'm
okay.
there as well. If there are any additional questions, hi everybody, thank you so much for the time. Exactly what everybody has been saying so far. So there's two pieces of the platform. One is a media monitoring and posting platform. So aggregating all publicly available discourse from sources like Facebook pages that are official to Nextdoor to Instagram to those official news media channels that we were talking to, allowing you to track the impact of your messaging, what are people actually saying, and really most importantly to understand if something is a pervasive issue or is it, two people in a Facebook group that are upset around, construction for a new park, for example. The other tool that you will have access to in this package is our Engage module, which allows you to build websites essentially with AI functionality. So you can build a fully functioning web page to post information about different projects that you're working on. For example, you could post one for the upcoming trunk or treat. Basically, folks can scan a QR code or see a link on your website and click it. They can look at timelines. They can see, what time the event starts. They can provide feedback. They can take surveys. They can sign up for notifications. But essentially, it's a forum to be able to communicate information with residents and also hear from them on different projects and initiatives.
Could this be correlated?
Was that helpful?
Could this be
Yes.
correlated
Yes.
to an emergency response too, since we're in Hurricane Alley?
Absolutely, we could use that towards hurricane response. We could find out if anybody's posting the information where they need assistance and the only access they have is any type of social media or of sorts. We could find out, triangulate where they may be or provide assistance in that matter. Another thing that's really important about this is we know that Kima's talked about as a tourism town. This allows us to find out what folks are talking about. Is there actual excitement about going to something? Are they talking about it with other folks in other areas and other platforms? Which right now, if we put out a Facebook post and someone talks about it in a different channel, and we can't track that specific post through our current channels. So this is a way of us being able to expand what we can currently do.
Take care of the stray cats.
Exactly. And going back to the emergency management point, we've worked with folks like Sarasota County on their emergency management response to track, where debris is in specific neighborhoods to help them identify where they should start cleaning up. We can do that through platforms like Nextdoor, which has a lot of location data. And then in addition to tracking other events. But yes, emergency management is an excellent place for us to be able to utilize the tool.
I'm assuming it hits on the word Kima.
Mhm.
And how does it differentiate between trash that people are talking about and accurate, real concerns? Does that make sense?
It actually does a little bit of both, but go ahead, ma'am.
Oh, no, I was going to say, I can add anything, but essentially we have an AI model that's been trained on, hundreds of thousands of millions of points of data. And so it's extremely accurate in being able to dissect, specific topics. For example, you can have dedicated dashboards to things like emergency management or, vacation or, specific events like the trunk or treat that's going on. And what it's going to do is it uses essentially an AI algorithm to be able to pull in that data and put it in the specific dashboard and say, okay, this is related to emergency management. We're seeing a lot of discourse around hurricanes and around debris cleanup. This is how we're going to classify it as this. It's going to be coming into this platform and we're going to be able to see it and easily be able to kind of dive into like what's driving the discourse. Is it, people want more resources. They want to understand, where they can get clean water, depending on the storm or what the pickup looks like. So there's a variety of ways that we can see where the data is coming from and also, get pretty granular in the topics that we're looking at as well.
I have a couple questions for you.
Okay,
Don't be mad at me.
I won't.
Feels like there's a lot of overlap here with this and what our marketing agency of record should be doing or being paid for. Maybe we're not paying for that
They
anymore,
weren't.
but,
Just yesterday was our last day on contract.
okay, fair enough. So that solves that problem. Second problem, is this in the budget that y'all wrote for your department?
Since
Or are
we
gonna
had
be
the
doing a budget
advertisement
amendment
budget, it would replace what the advertisement budget was and well below, extremely well below.
Because I'd have heartburn doing a budget amendment on day one of the budget.
No, sir.
And then also, this also feels like it's overlapping a little bit with the push notifications you were already setting up with texting around town. And I'm all for using technology and tools to make us better and more efficient and multiply your efforts as a staff of
Mhm.
not enough. I get that. But we're also 2 square miles. I mean, how much are you actually going to utilize this for the dollars? I know it's replacing dollars you're already going to spend in another spot. So my heartburn is far less than it was 30 seconds ago. But I also feel like it's not that hard to figure out what our residents are talking about when there's not that many of them. It's a pretty small town. This makes sense in Sarasota, Florida, where there's over 100,000 people. Does it make sense in Kima, a town of less than 3,000 people-ish, to figure out where our storm debris is? I know that's just an example, but
Mhm.
I just want to make sure if we're going to leverage tech, I just really want to make sure we're putting it in the right spot.
Well, kind of to piggyback off of what was mentioned earlier, not so much on that. We may be a town of, a couple thousand folks, but we also welcome nearly 4 million visitors who are also constantly on our pages. They're visiting our site, whether it's Discover Kima or they visit and many of the businesses that we have here. For example, the boardwalk, some of our restaurants that we have. So this will allow us a chance to find out, are they really talking about these places and how much effect is being had around this. So it's not just our stuff. We want to make sure that anything that has anything to do with Kima, that we know about what's being spoken about. So it's not a surprise. So we don't find out about it a couple of days later in the newspaper, or we're ahead of the curve and we can immediately react to these things. We have found out about influencers being in town and putting stuff out only because
We happened
personally,
across it.
we happen across it,
Right.
or because someone we may know say, hey, why didn't you tell me about this going on? And we find out because we find out after the fact.
Does this software have any hooks into Placer AI that we're already going to be using to gather data? Or is this going to be two
Two totally separate things, totally unrelated.
I think one of the things that I really like about the system too is its engagement opportunities. When we do programs that we're looking for engagement with our residents, or it provides us with some opportunities to be able to do. In just a matter of minutes, we can put together, for example, like CIP projects. If we have a project going along and we want to put up a website that kind of tracks that project, we'll be able to use this program for that and add things like polls or where people can put public input. We can add videos to it. We can do a lot of things and it's got templates that it can put together these pages really quickly for us so that we can turn around information and have ways that residents won't always come up here to tell you what they think. They won't always call to tell you what they think. And if we have a web page that talks about what a project is, maybe what it costs, how we're paying for it, but we're looking for input from the residents. Do you want to do this or that? Or do you want, what would you like to see in this? What would you like to see in this kind of project? We'll be able to use this platform for that as well.
This will also increase the amount of connection that we have through advertisement and through our post. Right now, we just don't post enough. We don't have enough time to post enough. There's just not enough hours in the day to put enough information out. This will speed the amount of time that we have to get stuff out.
This will allow me to post on several platforms, and it'll allow me to post different, you don't post the same information on every platform about a topic on every platform. It's not cut and paste kind of thing. This will allow me you'll use AI to take information of what I'm trying to put out and put information that's appropriate for that platform out on different platforms. Does that help any, Doug?
Yes.
I mean, I don't.
I know.
I see this as being the opposite to the solution of the problem. The problem isn't that there's all these people saying all this stuff about Kima. The problem is that Kima's not saying enough stuff about Kima. And when you look at, the vast majority of what I read about the city of Kima, it's so wildly off. It's not even funny. It's to the point where I don't even look at it anymore because I just kind of think to myself, how does anybody even draw that conclusion? So I don't necessarily think I have a huge appetite for culling misinformation for content and for content. I don't care about that. It's misinformation. I don't care about it anyway. But I think the solution isn't for us to, monitor a lot of the noise as it is for us to basically form an actual message. The communication, we should focus on the communication going out.
Certainly.
I think, not so much coming in. Because if we don't know what to communicate on behalf of the city, therein lies your problem. This is our city. We should be communicating our message, not going, well, what's going on in town that we should know this. And we should be the ones communicating it out.
Certainly.
I understand that word. But I just don't necessarily think that this is the solution to what we need to be looking for.
Understood. What we've done is we've tried to attack a problem. Although you said that we don't need to collect the information, but actually that's what allows us to put the factual information out. Half the time we find out about the wildfires that are occurring out there too late, and it's too late to put the truth out. And that allows us to not be able to spur the right message that's necessary. So that was the intent. Also, this allows us to put out our own information
Yeah.
faster and in much higher quantity.
And I don't think it's ever too late to put out the truth. I mean, I would rather be right than be first. And there's a big rush to be first, and it's always inaccurate. But
First
just- I think if we just become the trusted source for what's going on in the city that we should be, I think that sort of solves this problem. I mean, look, you got other people up here that may see it differently, and that's cool, but I just don't necessarily, if I were to look at the issue that's trying to be addressed, I don't think we're looking at it the right way. That's where I'm at.
The idea for this was to try to gather the voice of the people and provide solutions or provide factual information, as well as to target our marketing to exactly what the topics at hand are, but to also make our offices more efficient.
I was even going to say, in terms of a unified message, being able to post on all platforms and have messaging remain the same is how we see other communities use the tool. And then also being able to see how that message is received by residents and by others on top of that. So there is an aspect of kind of pushing out messaging as well. That's part of the platform in terms of being able to schedule posts on different platforms, as well as kind of like use press generators. There's a lot of tools that help different teams be able to kind of spread their message further within that are built in the platform.
I guess what kind of reporting will we get back to quantify this money spent? I mean, is there gonna be some sort of, how's that work?
Is there a sample reporting in this package? I believe there was. You look at,
Presentation, I'm just asking,
yeah.
how's it gonna be? We're only talking about $400 a month, so we're not talking about breaking the bank. So AI is real and it's coming in all facets across all industries. I mean, you either embrace it or you're gonna be way behind the curve, in my opinion.
well, if you look at just in the presentation, it says page 75, it tells you whether your content is being positively received or not, or if it's not. Maybe the way that you sent the message is not being properly received. So it allows us to do that. So the vast rewards that you can get on this are pretty infinite, depending on what you want to know. And again, I'll ask the representative if she wants to chime on that answer a little bit better, but you'll know if.
Speaking with Mr. Sykes, I mean, the biggest hurdle we have is getting information out to people on the services provided for public transportation. I mean, I can see this being a platform that can be used by all residents. I mean, I can see it. They just spent a lot of money to do that, so.
I have a motion. I would like to make a motion to table this item until the next meeting. So in order for council members, if they so choose, to work with Patty on get some of these answers, a little more clarity on dashboards and things like that. I just don't think there's enough information here tonight. I would like to see the dashboard, what that looks like. So I'd like to table this item until
If
the
we
next
do
meeting.
that, would this discount still be available?
Let me speak with Noah, and I think we might be able, I'm gonna ask her to extend the discount. And absolutely, we'd love to show you the dashboard. We'd love to show you the reporting features. For the transportation use case, we can absolutely show you how you can track like what platforms are best for messaging, specific things. Let me talk to Noah to confirm that we can extend the discount and see if we can get something scheduled, ideally this week, to show you what the tool looks like, so you can be more informed in the decisions that you folks are making. Does that sound like a plan?
Or maybe at the next meeting. That I don't have a
Okay.
calendar in front of me, but
Sure.
The 15th.
The 15th.
Okay.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
All right, okay, he's done.
And before we have a second on that, like one of the things you talk about here is in Cary, North Carolina, a powerful tool for helping us make data-driven recommendations to town council, and also imperative in helping council members feel confident about their decisions. I've sat up here at the dais many, many years, and that's always been one of my biggest concerns is we have 5, 8, or 10 people in the room, but that's not representative of everyone or a cross-section of town. There's many times I would like to have more feedback. So maybe that's also something you could give us at least an example of, is how you would construct that item and get feedback, or how, North Carolina does that, so anyway.
Absolutely.
And I think we did have a motion on the floor by Councilman Dustin Oliver to table. And do we have a second?
Second.
We have a second by Councilman Darren Broadus. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion to table carries, and hopefully we can reschedule this, Natasha, on the next meeting.
We will make that happen.
Okay, thank you. 11F, consideration and possible action to approve the special event permit for Kima's National Night Out 2025.
So moved.
We have a motion by Councilman Darren Broadus.
Second.
We have a second by Councilman Doug Meisinger. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Consideration and possible action to approve the special event permit for Kima's Trunk or Treat Shop and Eat 2025.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion by Councilman Darren Broadus, a second by Councilman Lee Wallace. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion also carries. We do not have an executive session tonight. So if there are no other comments or questions, we will adjourn the meeting. We will adjourn at 7 PM. Thank you.
Are these the official things that we're handing out?
I think so.
There's like 3 of them. I didn't know which one.
Let's see.
Or actually 2.